Hi everyone, today's video is going to be 30 common misconceptions that people have with hamsters, and it's also going to be LuandAshshedzoo's 500 plus subscriber contest entry. So firstly, I would just like to say congratulations to Lucy and Ashley on 500 plus subscribers. That is really good and you definitely deserve them, and keep up the good work. I will be linking their channel in the description below so you can check out their channel if you want to subscribe. As you can tell from the title, this is a new series that I'm doing called CSI Myhammy, and it's basically just investigating various things about hamsters, such as their behaviour, their requirements, various products, and just stuff like that. And I called it that because you get CSI Myhammy, so why not have CSI Myhammy? I've never actually watched any of the CSIs, but I just thought I'd call it this. So I hope you enjoy this new series, and the first video is going to be for the contest. So the first misconception that I have is that hamsters are boring. This is not true. They are generally seen during the day, and as they are crepuscular, this means that they're more active during dawn and dusk, although they can be trained to wake up a little earlier. They're asleep, so because of this they are asleep and hiding. As they are seen at their least active and pet shops aren't really open when they are active, they're perceived to be boring. However, if you were to see a hamster at night, they're actually very active and can be quite fast. They're very fun to watch. I particularly like watching the robos. They are very, very active. So, and they can run around 10 miles in one night, and that really does not seem lazy and boring to me. So, the next misconception is that hamsters only require a small cage. They actually require quite a large cage. The minimum size for a Syrian or a pair of dwarfs is 75 by 40, and for a single dwarf around 70 by 30, or a single Chinese is that size as well. Good cages include the Barney, the Alaska, the Alexander, the Leon, the Zoo Zone 2, the Zoo Zone 1, but that's only for a single dwarf or Chinese, the IKEA Detolf or Detolf, I'm not sure how you say it, a bin cage, or an IKEA Lack DIY cage. I think people think that they need a small cage because pet shop ones are small and they are on the smaller side of the animal kingdom, so as well as they are seen to be inactive, so it's just thought the space isn't needed, but it actually is. The third one is that Chinese hamsters are dwarf hamsters. They aren't, even though they are labelled as Chinese dwarf hamsters in pet shops. This is not true. They are not dwarfs because they are in a different genus. The genus that the Russian dwarf hamster, that the Campbell's Russian dwarf, the winter white, and the Roborovsky are in is called, I'm not going to say this wrong, Phodopus. That's really completely wrong. But it is spelled Phodopus, whereas the Chinese hamster is in the genus of Cricetulus, and I probably said that wrong as well, but it is spelled Cricetulus. Number 4. Fluffy bedding is safe. No, I hate this one. This is not true at all. Fluffy bedding kills and injures so many hamsters every year. It can cause blockages, respiratory issues, pouch trapping, which can lead to infection, limb trapping, which can result in the limb having to be amputated. It's basically a murder weapon, and even though it says what it's for on the packet, it's actually not really safe for anything at all. This should be avoided, and it really should stop being sold in stores, but it's not. So never buy fluffy bedding. Number 5 is that Syrians and Chinese hamsters are okay in pairs. This is not true, as Syrians are solitary and they will fight till one of them dies or one of them gets a severe injury. They are kept together in pet shops because they aren't really at an age where they would fight a lot. The same applies to Chinese hamsters, although it is extremely rare that you may get a pair or a trio that are successfully kept together. But this is extremely rare, so it is. Number 6 is that hamsters always bite and are vicious. Hamsters are prey animals and they will only bite when they feel scared or threatened. They do not bite to be vicious, they bite to defend themselves due to their fear. They can actually be very tame loving creatures. And just because they're rodents doesn't mean they're vicious. I don't know why, but a lot of people just associate all rodents as being bitey and vicious, horrible creatures, which is not true at all. Number 7 is that hamsters are tame from the start. Although they don't always bite, they still need taming. A lot of hamsters are shy straight away, although you may get the rare one that's actually okay. I've had this a couple of times, but it is extremely rare, and you should leave them for 24 hours to settle in before handling or just attempting taming. Number 8 is that hamsters are the perfect children's pet or children's pocket money pets. Actually, there are a lot of reasons why young children should not have hamsters as pets. The children can annoy and stress the animal, resulting in the hamster biting. The animal will be asleep when the children want to hold it, which will be all day, and they will probably want to run around a lot. When it's active, a lot of hamsters may not actually want to be cuddled or held, and they will be asleep during the day. So it's just not ideal at all, and more than likely they will lose interest. This happens so often with any animal, and they probably cannot handle the responsibility. I got my first hamster at 10, and I would say that is around an acceptable age, if not older. It just depends on the individual, but definitely no older than around 10. Number 9 is that hamsters are herbivores. They are actually omnivores, unlike rabbits, guinea pigs and chinchillas. They will eat various dairy, meat and fish products, and this is a great source of protein for them. Number 10 is that hamsters don't need to be played with. They actually do, just to keep them tame, and it's also nice for them to get out of their cage, because you wouldn't really want to be kept up in a cage 24/7, because that's just not nice. So that shouldn't happen for your hamster either. Number 11 is that mesh wheels and small wheels are safe. Mesh wheels can cause bumblefoot and their limbs can get trapped. A dwarf should have a wheel of around 6 inches and a Syrian 12 inches. 12 inches is the recommended, although multiple hamsters will run straight on around an 8.5 inch or 9 inch wheel. But if you do have a particularly large Syrian, then you may want to opt for the 12 inch. Number 12 is that Syrians are called teddy bears, panda bears, black bears, or blizzard hamsters. Russian cat bears are called pudding, sunfire, sapphire, or fancy dwarf hamsters. Chinese hamsters are called mouse-like, long-tailed dwarf, or mousters. And Roborovskis are known as desert, baby, Campbells, Siberian husky hamsters. This is not true. Pet shops just call them this to make them sound new, exotic and rare, and try to get people to buy them. Sorry if you can hear nutmeg drinking. It's just generally it is based on the colour of them. For example, a black bear is just a solid black Syrian, and it's just nicknames that they give them. Number 13 is that hamsters don't need vet care. Every animal does if it becomes ill. Hamsters are no exception to this. Number 14 is that red-eyed hamsters are evil and difficult to tame. They are the same as a black-eyed hamster. It's just genetics and pigmentation that affect their eye colour, but it does not affect their personality. Number 15 is that modular cages are good, fun, and offer more enrichment for your hamster. They can get stuck in tubes. They are too small. They're extremely expensive. You can get a much better sized cage for way less. And they are also very difficult to clean. I did unfortunately have one with my first hamster for a little while, and they are a very big pain to clean. Number 16 is that hamsters don't need toys and are happy with just a toilet roll. They actually need lots of enrichment, or they can get bored. This can result in bar chewing and escape attempts. Number 17 is that hamsters live less than a year. They can live up to 3 years, although the average is more like 2. Number 18 is that pet shop advice is correct. a lot of staff in pet shops actually know nothing about any animal really, and they're just out to make money for you. You should not really listen to them, and definitely do your research before you get an animal, so then you will know that the pet shop advice is actually incorrect. But there may be the odd local shop that actually is correct, but that is very rare. And that's it really. Is that Rubberovskis make great children's pets and are very easy to tame. Actually, they are extremely difficult to tame. I've had some myself. Due to their skittish nature and speed, they are not for children, and they are more for the experienced hamster owner. Number 20 is that circling and back flipping hamsters is funny and hilarious and very entertaining. This is not true. It is actually a brain disorder. It is common with hybrids due to complications with breeding two different species, and it really is not funny because it's a brain disorder, and that's not nice to see a hamster have that problem. Number 21 is that hamsters should be bathed. Bathing actually strips away natural oils in the fur, which can cause a chill and then your hamster can actually die from it. So bathing is not recommended at all. Number 22 is that hamsters hibernate every year in winter. They actually do not hibernate. I don't know where this comes from, but they don't hibernate at all. Number 23 is a hamster manically running around in its cage is happiness. Generally this is not the case, and the hamster is actually stressed. Number 24 is that you cannot have any bonds with your hamster. Actually you can. Some hamsters will actually only let one person hold them, and then they do not want to know any other person, so you actually can bond with them and they do recognise you. Number 25 is that hamsters are disposable pets. This is also very untrue. No animal is disposable. It's never just a hamster or just any animal really. You can actually bond with them, and this can actually upset and anger quite a few people when people say this. Number 26 is that vets can't treat hamsters at all. As long as you find one that has any experience with hamsters, then they can treat them. Number 27 is that hamsters like wheels that squeak. I don't know where this comes from, but they don't really like them. I guess them being such a small animal, it could probably scare them as well. But they do not like wheels that squeak, like we don't, because it can wake us up. Number 28 is that bar chewing is good for them. It's actually not. It can cause brain damage. It can also damage the teeth. The teeth can get caught between the bars and it can pull them out, which will lead to severe pain with your hamster. So bar chewing is actually very bad, and it is also a sign of boredom. Number 29 is that hamsters can eat anything. This isn't true. There are actually many things out there that are poisonous to them, just like there is with any animal. Finally, number 30. Different species can socialise and breed together safely without any complications. This is not true. The only two species that can successfully breed together are the Campbells and the winter white. However, there are many complications that are caused with this, and if they just socialise, they will probably fight, and it's just not recommended at all. So that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it quite interesting. Don't forget to comment, like and subscribe. Go check out LuandAshshedzoo's channel, and good luck to everyone else entering. So bye guys.